Have you ever wondered how prisoners escaped from the infamous Alcatraz? Alcatraz was considered one of the most secure prisons. Located on an island in San Francisco Bay, it was nearly impossible to escape. The prison housed dangerous criminals who required maximum security. The cold waters and strong currents deterred escape attempts. Guards were highly trained to prevent any breakout plans. Yet in 1962, 3 men dared to escape from this fortress. Their successful escape remains a mystery today. Let's discover how they did it. The escapees were Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin. Frank Morris was known for his intelligence and cunning. He had escaped from other prisons before his time in Alcatraz. The Anglin brothers were experienced bank robbers. They had a history of breaking out of prisons together. The trio met at Alcatraz and formed a plan. They were determined to succeed where others had failed. Their backgrounds made them ideal partners in crime. Together, they devised one of the most daring escapes. The escape plan was meticulously prepared over several months. The inmates needed to be creative and resourceful. They began by studying the prison's layout and security routines. Their plan involved creating a secret workshop in their cells. They used discarded materials to fashion tools. The escapees worked on their plan during music hour. Music helped mask the sounds of their activities. They had to remain unnoticed by the guards at all times. Every detail was crucial for their plan to succeed. The inmates crafted tools from everyday items. They used spoons and saw blades to dig through walls. Vent covers were replaced with fake ones made from cardboard. These fake covers were expertly painted to avoid detection. The escapees also created lifelike dummies to fool guards. The dummies were made from soap, toilet paper, and hair. These decoys were placed in their beds during the escape. Such ingenuity was essential for their plan to work. The tools and covers allowed them to access utility corridors. To fool the guards, the inmates created dummy heads. These heads were made from soap, toilet paper, and real hair. The hair was collected from the prison's barber shop. The heads looked surprisingly realistic, even from up close. They were painted to match the inmates' skin tones. At night, these heads were placed in the beds. If a guard looked inside, they would see a sleeping inmate. This deception gave the escapees a crucial head start. Without it, their plan might have failed immediately. The escape occurred on the night of June 11, 1962. The inmates quietly left their cells after lights out. They had widened the ventilation ducts in their cells. These openings allowed them to crawl through to a utility corridor. They used makeshift tools to remove the grates. Once inside the corridor, they moved quickly but quietly. Their absence wasn't noticed because of the dummy heads. Each step was timed to avoid guard controls. Their careful planning made the escape possible. The utility corridor was a hidden part of the prison. It provided a secret path to the roof. The inmates climbed pipes to reach the top. They had practiced this route many times before. Once on the roof, they navigated carefully to remain unseen. They knew the guards' routines and avoided detection. The escapees used a previously cut vent to exit the building. From there, they reached the ground safely. Their knowledge of the prison's layout was crucial. The final part of their plan involved a homemade raft. This raft was constructed from stolen raincoats. They had collected over 50 raincoats for this purpose. The raincoats were stitched together to form a waterproof surface. The seams were sealed with heat from hot water pipes. Inflation was achieved using a concertina, a small instrument. The raft was large enough to carry all 3 escapees. It was hidden on the prison grounds until the escape night. This ingenious creation was essential for their journey across the bay. The escapees left their cells and reached the roof. They climbed down a drain pipe to the ground. Using a raft made from raincoats, they set off. The raft was inflated using a concertina. They paddled towards Angel Island in the dark. The strong currents made the journey dangerous. If they had been caught, they would have faced severe punishment. Their daring plan was now in motion. They disappeared into the night, leaving Alcatraz behind. The next morning, guards discovered the empty cells. The fake heads fooled them at first glance. An immediate search of the prison was conducted. Authorities realized the escape had been successful. A massive manhunt was launched across the region. The FBI, Coast Guard, and local police were involved. If they had been found, it would have ended quickly. Despite the efforts, no trace was found immediately. The escape became a national news sensation. Many theories emerged about the escapees' fate. Some believed they drowned in the cold waters. Others thought they reached the mainland safely. If they had survived, they would have needed new identities. Reports of sightings were investigated but unconfirmed. The FBI closed the case in 1979, assuming they drowned. However, some evidence suggested they might have survived. The mystery continues to intrigue people today. Theories keep the story alive and fascinating. The escape highlighted security flaws at Alcatraz. It led to changes in prison security nationwide. The daring escape inspired book longer. The escapees became legends in criminal history. Their story is a testament to human ingenuity, partly due to the escape. The escape remains one of the most famous in history. It reminds us of the power of hope and perseverance.